So basically, interest rate is the interest that the government, the Bank of England, charges for banks for lending money through the central government or through the central bank. So that then become a blueprint or a base that the other banks would use to charge you if they lend you their money or if they borrow you their money. So basically, that is the base interest rate. So how the government use it is, the government uses interest rate to actually persuade you to spend or not to spend, so to speak. Say, for example, if interest rate is low, the government is doing that to actually encourage you to spend more money, because they know that, keeping the money in the bank will not do you any good. So what you do, you either invest that money or spend that money, okay? So in a situation where, as we are now, where demand has literally surpassed supply, and basically people are really struggling to actually meet. Suppliers are really struggling to actually hit demand, and things are going so expensive. What the central bank does basically is to increase interest rates. So when they increase the interest rate, they're hoping that you yourself, instead of spending the money or investing the money, you will put that money in the bank to get the interest you would have gained for saving that money as savings. So again, that way they will control your behavior. So again, in this situation now, as a property investor, before the interest rate get hiked up, is the best time to review your portfolio, right? Review your portfolio. If you've got 3 or 4, maybe 10, 15 properties, it's about time for you to sit down and see which properties you could remortgage, right? If the mortgage has already expired, or if you are on a variable interest rate, right? If you're in a variable interest rate or your mortgage is about to expire, now is about the time to literally go and remortgage the property. The good thing about remortgaging the property right now, one, property prices are significantly high right now. They're here basically, right? So if you had a property that you bought 3 or 4 years for £100,000, that property may worth about 120 to about £150,000. So now is the time to remortgage and then get yourself on a fixed rate, right? If you're able to get yourself on a 3 or 5 years fixed rate, you are in a better position, okay? Get yourself locked in. So whether interest rate increased in the future or decreased in the future, you are locked in. You're locked in for that 3 to 5 years. So again, that protects your investment. The reason why it protects your investment is because you now know what your interest rate is, right? You know, if your interest on your mortgage is £300, you know for the next 5 years is £300. It's not going to change. That gives you the security to ensure no matter what happens with interest rate, obviously you are protected, okay? And that interest will not increase regardless what the situation is. And again, if you're a landlord or an property investor who wants to know their future is secured, that could be a better way to do it. Where there is a standstill or production in an economy, or the world economy is kind of stagnating, right? There are more demand than supply, and there are lots of people kind of wanting the same thing, and there's less of that thing, which is inflation basically. And then obviously people are not manufacturing, manufacturers are not manufacturing, prices are going up significantly, and people obviously are not having higher salaries. Their salary has remained the same for about 5-6 years. It hasn't changed drastically, and then prices are increasing and increasing and increases, and companies cannot afford to actually pay you because it's costing them more to provide the services or product that they're selling out there. And then obviously once that demand hit that pinnacle stage, guess what? People would then not afford to pay, and guess what? The company would have lots of stock, they won't be able to sell it, and then guess what? That then becomes a recession, right? And then this price increases drastically, then causes people to be fearful even to go out for a meal, become fearful to buy product and services. That's the fear. Is the fear. If the fear become imminent, or if the fear becomes sudden, that then stop the economy from working. Right, it stops everybody, because if you used to go to a restaurant once a week, then you stop that, that restaurant has lost the business. If you used to go a couple of times or so and you've stopped one and you start going once again, that business has lost that money. If you used to do shopping every month and you stop that business has been you've made them lost money that way. So these are the signs of recession. Number one, price increase. Number two, more demand, less supply. Number three, obviously the war in Ukraine. And then number four, obviously, people are worried about what the interest rate or what's happening within the economy. How can we take advantage of it? Because it's very, very important for us to take advantage of it when it comes, because obviously that's when lots of people make money. Lots of people make so much money during COVID. They become multimillionaires whilst other people struggle. So again, you want to be that person who literally was a victor when the recession hit. Right. So to protect yourself, the first thing I think you need to do basically is to save the income that you receive. I know it might be difficult to save right now because things are very, very expensive, but trust me, you can still find a way to save. If you used to buy things in Tesco's, Asda, Morrison, Waitrose, maybe you want to consider Aldi, you want to consider Lidl, you want to consider Poundland, for example. You want to start to go to cheaper places to do your shopping, right? And I would advise you to save 15% of your net income, right? You need to be saving that anyways, with or without recession coming. 15% of your salary, you need to be able to save that. Promise yourself, no matter what, you put that 15% aside, okay? Put that 15% aside. That would enable you to be able to accumulate a bit of money to think about investing passively. 15%, go for it. If it's 15%, that's what I would advise it to be minimum. Some people advise them to do 25 or 30%. Basically, you have to change your lifestyle for now. So if you're one of those who likes to go to this expensive shop, consider Lidl, Aldi, wholesalers, cash and carries, right? Start going to places like that. Cash and carry could be a good way to save you money, right? Go to cash and carry that don't require you to pay a subscription, okay? Because there are some cash and carries that it requires you to pay monthly subscription or have to pay to register. If you don't want to do that, go to cash and carries that don't require you to do any of that. Most of them require you to have a business or whatever form of business to be able to buy product from them. Again, create a business and then obviously go and buy in wholesales. Places like Booker's. Booker's could be a nice place to shop. And then we have over cash and carries. Each town and city's got different type of cash and carries. Start buying in bulk instead of in retail, okay? And the second thing also you do, live below your means, right? No matter what, whether you got an increase in your salary, whether you've got leftover money after you've taken all your expenses, continue living below your means, okay? If you living below your means, you'll be able to save that money. And again, when I'm talking about saving here, I'm not talking about saving for 5, 6, 10 years. No, I'm talking about saving money to be able to invest immediately, maybe 6 months, a year, or maybe 18 months. So you can have enough money saved to start investing. Right, you don't want to save for 15, 20 years or maybe 10 years because it won't do you any good because you don't get anything from saving that money. So live below your means, save that 15%, and then whatever is left over after living below your means is basically add that up in your savings. So again, that's what gets you to prepare yourself, okay? Preparing yourself. And if you like this video or any of my videos, hit the like button below, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of these amazing tutorials. Let's get to it. Is by deal sourcing or deal packaging. What does this mean? You go out there, look for property deals, properties that are on the market. You view the properties, negotiate it to get a discount from it and get it below market value, or look for properties that the investors can potentially add value to, secure those deals, get it secured, and then what you then do, you sell that information to someone who is looking for property deals that don't have time to negotiate or don't have time to view these properties. So you can then sell that information to them. And again, you could be making anywhere from 2,500 to about 5,000 or 10,000 pounds, depending how lucrative that deal is. Again, that could be a nice way to create multiple stream of income, because you don't own the asset. All you're selling is the information, basically. And there is less barrier to entry as well. That puts you in a better position to generate that sort of passive income. Imagine you've got to secure 2 of those deals every single month. Let's say you sold those deals for a minimum of £2,500. Okay? If you've got 2 of those deals, you're talking about £5,000 a month. And again, most of us here are not earning that much money a month in our job. So if you can do a couple of those, that's £5,000 a month. Again, that what gets you to get that multiple stream of income, and then you could use that money then to actually invest elsewhere. Again, if this video has been helpful, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more of these amazing tutorials. I look forward to sharing the next video.